please state your name, the college you attended, the year you graduated, and your major.
My name is Sabrina Braggerton Nasser. I graduated from the College of Staten Island last year, June 2016, with my bachelor's in psychology and my advanced certificate in autism spectrum disorders.
Mike Monaco, Adelphi University, 2013, exercise physiology.
My name is Gabby Adia. I graduated from Adelphi University in 2014 with a degree in exercise science.
My name is Ellen Adia, College of New Jersey, graduated year 2014, and my major is digital arts.
My name is Medea Mola. I am from the College of Staten Island. I graduated in the spring of 2016, and my major was early childhood education.
My name is Joe Adia. I attended CSI in my first year in 2009. Then I transferred to Brooklyn College and graduated in 2013. Then I attended graduate school at Adelphi University for 2 years and graduated in 2016. And I studied speech-language pathology throughout my whole undergrad and graduate years.
So my name is Michael Martinisi, and I attended CSI for 2 years before transferring to the Seymour Joseph Institute, where I graduated in 2016 with the certification of sound language interpreting.
Before you graduated, did you think life would get more or less stressful?
I thought life would get more stressful because on top of grad school, I was hoping to do a full-time job.
So I think when you're in college, you have different stresses. You have finals, you have homework, you have practice, and then you have this idea of stress after college as stresses that have to do with bills or rent, finding a good job, providing for yourself. So I did think that I was going to be stressed out after college, but different stresses from when I was in college.
I think it was going to get more stressful because, especially in graduate school, since that was working toward my actual job, I always thought to myself, what am I going to do after I'm done with school? So it's a lot of pressure to know that once you finish school, you have a lot more responsibility for everything that you are paying for or taking care of.
I thought life would be less stressful after college. I wouldn't have any tests or assignments to worry about.
Before I graduated, I thought life would get more stressful because of all the people who graduated with my major. They all said that with this degree, it would be hard to find a job, and if you did find a job, it wouldn't be the pay that you'd expect.
Before I graduated, I thought life would become more stressful because of all the added pressures of finding a job and going to graduate school and trying to make your way in life.
When I was in school, I had definitely a lot of stress while in school. My expectations were that it was just going to get harder once I was out. So I expected, once I was out of college, I'd start working, get into the real world, and things would just get harder as it went on.
Now that you have graduated and are working, is your stress level what you expected, or do you have a different viewpoint of it now?
My stress level is different than what I thought when I was in college. I thought after college I would have life figured out, but now I'm worried about things I didn't think about, like bills, car payments, life adulting things, like when I'm gonna move out, where, and stuff like that.
Now that I graduated, stress seems a little less than I expected. You have the good stresses, the bad stresses, but overall it's less stress than I thought because I did find a good job that pays me well, but it's stressful because it's a lot of time, a lot of hours put into it.
It's everything that I expected because since I am new to this job that I have now, I'm having a really hard time adjusting to the caseload that I have and just working around like all the paperwork and my own personal life. So it's a lot of balancing and again readjusting everything that you've already done before school, during school, and now here I am after school is done. So we all go through this. I'm going through it right now. So, and I'm sort of finding more balances here and there. So, yeah.
I think that my stress level now is a little bit higher than what I expected in college. I knew that I was going to have bills and I was going to have to pay rent after college, but I just didn't think it was going to be as challenging as it was. So, yeah, I definitely think there's more stress now than there was in college.
It varied so much, honestly, because once I got out of school, it was so hard to find work, which right at the bat was incredibly stressful, and I was like, oh no, what am I doing with my life? And then as time went on a little bit, it became more relaxing, and I was like, you know what, I could deal with some downtime, this is okay. And then back to the present day now, I'm at the point where I'm like questioning my career choice and, you know, considering a second career, and which can be stressful at times for sure.
Yeah, the stress level is what I expected, but to a certain extent, it's like yes and no, because with pertaining to work, it is less stressful than I expected it to be, and with grad school, it's more stressful than what I expected it to be.
I definitely have a different viewpoint of it now. It's definitely less stressful than I thought it would be, especially just teaching a little bit, trying to get into grad school. All my pressure has kind of gone down, and I've learned how to relax more.
Is your current job the one you worked toward when you were in college, or is it still a work in progress?
Yes, it is, because it is a speech pathology job, but at the same time, it is a work in progress, because first of all, the people who I work with is not what I prefer at the moment, and at the same time, I'm also an origami artist, so I want to accomplish something with that, and if possible, it would be a really big dream come true if I incorporate speech pathology with origami to some extent.
Yes, it's still a work in progress, and it's very, very difficult to find work in my field. It was not made that clear when I was in school. I mean, a lot of like mentors and like professors made it sound like, oh, if you just if you persevere, it's very easy to find work, and it's really not. Definitely not.
Currently, the job I got is what I worked towards in college. Not expecting it to be the best job, but I'm just a work in progress in general. I'm trying to work on myself, eventually open my own place. But as a performance coach right now, it's just a work in progress.
So I went to school for physical therapy, and I ended up getting a job as an office coordinator in a pediatric therapy office. So I'm seeing the sides of the therapy world that are more about how children get services and the process of how to get those services. So it's definitely an eye-opening experience. I think that it's different than what I thought I was going to end up doing in college, but I am grateful for the experience because it's really interesting to see what people go through every day and what children have to go through to get services. So
Definitely still a work in progress. In school, I thought I would do more like animation, film, and video, but now I'm a web graphic designer, so that's like a completely different field. I mean, I still enjoy what I'm doing because I'm still creating stuff, and that's what I wanted to do. But it's definitely not where I want to stay.
It's definitely still a work in progress, the job that I want. Currently I'm teaching tennis on the side, just to make money until I get into graduate school. So it's definitely still a work in progress.
So I'm currently working at a public school, and yes, it is what I was working towards in college, because I wanted to be in an environment where it's friendly and welcoming, and that's exactly where I am right now. So I'm really glad about that.
In spite of the stresses during college and at your current job, do you think attending college was worth it, or do you have any regrets about it?
Honestly, attending college, I think the last 2 years of my bachelor's degree and my 2 years of the master's degree were the most important. The first 2 years of my bachelor's, my freshman and sophomore year, weren't really worth it when I look at it now because they were general classes. So if they could have shortened my college career to the 4 years, it would have been better. I
definitely don't regret it because even like even going to CSI at first for the 2 years, which I was miserable honestly, but I made friendships and met like mentors and people that I would have never ever known if I hadn't gone there. And at CSI is actually where I discovered what I wanted to do before I transferred to the specialized school for it. So I mean, I definitely don't regret it now.
College was definitely worth it. I didn't use everything I learned in college, but some of the classes I used were definitely helpful to like my current job. If I were to do it over, I would take different classes so I could expand my skills more, but there's a lot of skills that I've learned in college that I didn't learn in classes. Like I learned from like having a social life or just like talking to my professors, so it definitely helped being in school.
I feel like to an extent it was worth it, and then I do have some regrets. When it comes to learning new things, I think it was good because I did learn certain things that would be helpful and are helpful in the classroom. And then with other things, I feel like it was kind of regretful because, well, with our department, what we do is a lot of field work hours, so it gets tough doing that on top of working full time.
I don't have any regrets going to college. It's definitely given me the best 4 years of experience. I met a lot of new, interesting people, made a lot of connections, and all the degrees that I obtain are what I'm going to use in the future, so I definitely don't regret it.
I think college was the best decision I could have made. I made a lot of friends and I learned a lot in school, and I wouldn't be where I am today without school. So for me personally, college was the best decision. I actually would love to go back to school again one day, so I think for me college was a great decision.
It was worthwhile because I studied all the basic fundamentals of speech pathology, and it's really just a matter of getting the experience once you get the job. And for me, that's where you're going to learn most, because you're going to take the skills that you learned in school and just make it your own, and you are going to expand on those skills and learn a lot more once you start working with whatever it is you want to study.